Now we're moving into the part of the show where I get to look at growing figs in cold climates, and today you'll hear my chat with Trish Crapo and Tom Ashely at Dancing Bear Farm in Leiden, Massachusetts. And they got into figs by accident about a decade ago. Now they sell fresh figs at farmers markets and sell fig trees to other cold climate gardeners. When we chatted for this interview, they told me that their fig trees, which are in a greenhouse, are all leafed out and forming fruit. And I have to tell you, I'm jealous. Mine are all dormant and in the garage or in the yard under straw mulch. You can find Tom and Trish at dancingbearfarm.com. Now, here is my chat with Trish and Tom. Okay, I have on the line with me Tom and Trish from Dancing Bear Farm, and they are going to tell me their story about growing figs and how they got into figs. So, Tom and Trish, maybe let's start out. Can you tell us a little bit about Dancing Bear Farm?
Sure. We started in 1981. Actually, as a small garden in Vermont. Shortly thereafter, we moved to Leiden, Massachusetts, right on the Vermont border, and had more land and started farming on a larger scale. Produce, for the most part, selling to farmers markets and local grocery stores. Okay. We dabbled with some animals, pigs and cows, and did that for quite a few years, and then decided we should probably have kids instead.
Also, yes, maybe. Lot to take care of. Everything needed doing at overlapping times. You needed to hay right when you needed to plant tomato seeds in the greenhouse, and it was a lot to try to juggle.
Yes. Okay. Well, now, where did your fig odyssey begin, or how did it begin?
Well, that's a wonderful story. 10 years ago now, one of our very good customers, she was a customer since we started. She loves fresh produce. She brought me 4 dead sticks from her family fig tree in Brooklyn, New York, and said, stick these in the greenhouse and see what happens. And at that point, I had never had a fresh fig. I knew what a fig was, but Fig Newton was really my only experience with figs.
Okay.
And, so, I messed around with them for a while, and finally cleaning up the greenhouse, I said, okay, I'll stick them in the ground. Sure. And not knowing anything about what was going to happen. And now, 10 years later, we have constructed a big, huge greenhouse over the old one. I've got 6 trees planted in the ground, hundreds and hundreds of potted trees that we've moved through, and thousands of mature, ripe figs picked over the years.
Wow.
Yeah, so, they have taken over my life.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Now, Trish, had you tasted figs before? Because Tom said he had only had the Fig Newtons. How about you?
I don't think I had ever had a fresh fig. You know how there's certain things, like I think it took me a long time as a kid to understand that a raisin was a dried grape, So you just think of them as a certain thing, and I think I always just thought of figs as dried. I think I had dried figs, like my mom used to like to make curry, and then she'd chop up dried figs on top or whatever, but no, I remember when we first had the fresh figs, it was a curious flavor, right? We were surprised by it because there's all that greenness, the green kind of, and I mean green in a wonderful way. There's like a unexpected, how would you explain that flavor, Tom?
complex.
Yeah. Because there's the sweetness of the inside, but then if you eat the skin, not everybody does, I guess. But, dude, that's a really light, green, refreshing kind of
cucumbery, melony.
Yeah.
And what about your customers who had not eaten figs before? What reaction have you had from them?
Oh, a lot of people have eaten figs. They had more experience than I had when I went to farmer's market and first had first I sold the fig trees, and then when the figs started producing enough, I started selling the figs. And they're an immediate attention grabber at the farmer's market in Boston, say, or around here, to have fresh figs. Anybody who had a fig knew what they were in for and appreciated being able to have them.
And we're sort of nostalgic and really, really happy to see them sometimes. The Italian customers that you had.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. The people that appreciate figs and have found us through the internet, or I'm not sure how.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about that, the meeting other people in the fig community. Have you found figs have connected you and made a bit of a community for yourselves?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's they're just great people. It was similar to we did heirloom tomatoes early on, and another thing is garlic. We grow a lot of garlic, and people are passionate about those things. So they're happy to see that you have garlic or figs or tomatoes. It's nice to share with people.
Okay. So before we finish off, one last question. Is your fig collection growing all the time? Is it getting bigger? Do you always need more space for it?
Well, the greenhouse is a finite space. It's 30 by 60. So it will hold, I figure, 10 mature trees. As far as my potted collection, that takes up less space. It goes outside for the seasons. And I have another greenhouse which may be taken over by figs too.
Yeah, right now the other greenhouse grows peppers.
Still grow peppers.
In these raised beds, beautiful, like frying peppers. Cherry tomatoes right in the ground, but I can definitely foresee a time when the figs kind of take over that.
Oh, I love it. Well, Trish, Tom, thank you for talking to me about figs, and I love your enthusiasm and your passion for them.
Yeah.
Well, and thank you.
Thank you
for doing this.
I love your book and your daughter's book. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, that was Dad talking with Trish and Tom at Dancing Bear Farm. And, Dad could talk forever, but they told Dad that the fig trees are taking over, and we definitely have that same problem at our place. You should see our garage right now.
You can find Tom and Trish at dancingbearfarm.com. And by the way, Tom will be speaking about figs at the New England Vegetable and Fruit Conference in Manchester, New Hampshire. The conference runs from December 10th through the 12th, 2019.